So we're back for the Life and Fight of a podcast. I'm Jake Cross. I'm your host from Empire Grappling and president of UK Fighting Championships. Our guest today is Stef Murray from Fighting Fit Manchester. He's the former UKFC amateur featherweight champion. Stef, Mr. Murray, how's it going?
I'm good. I feel like I always want to say fantastic, but I'm good, mate. I'm good. Hope you're not too bad yourself.
Surviving.
Always
mate,
surviving. Yeah. Always smiling. Keep on smiling,
So we'll quickly introduce you, let people know a bit about you, if they do or don't know you, get a bit more info on yourself. So, Mr. Stef Murray, you are 4-2 as a mixed martial artist in the amateur ranks, 3-2 on UK Fighting Championships. Like we said, former UKFC interim featherweight champion. Right. You fought 2 weight classes. You fought in 3 title fights in your 6-fight tenure, which is crazy, really. But let's start at the beginning. What got you into martial arts?
Quick summary of me. Probably like most young lads in their early teens, football was my main sport of choice. And then one day, one of my mates was like, "Let's go to the boxing gym." So we did just that. I was probably pretty consistent for like 6 to 12 months. Didn't take it too seriously, but enjoyed it. Enjoyed a bit of rough and tumble down at the boxing gym. Then you get introduced to alcohol and flirting with girls. So the boxing takes a little bit of a back step. And fast forward to probably my early 20s, and one reason or another, I decided to take boxing up again. So I had a brief amateur boxing career, which admittedly didn't do very well in for one reason or another. Whether that's my approach, which certainly by comparison to my mixed martial arts approach was very, very different. My training was far more lax, and I think with hindsight, it was probably more about like fighting. Going boxing was just like, I just want to get in there and just have a scrap. We won't get into the politics that come and are surrounded with the boxing industry, with different promotions and things like that. But yeah, then fast forward to probably about 3 years ago is when I joined Fighting Fit. Initially joining Fighting Fit as a coach, so I joined as a calisthenics coach, and also got brought in as a strength and conditioning coach, which certainly actually being part of the fight team has really held me in good stead and given me a good understanding with more like sports specific strength and conditioning. And then I think it was 2 years ago. And that's what's mad about it, really, is, my MMA career has been 2 years, just over 2 years, 2.5 years, something like that. And yeah, I just jumped in like balls deep, gave myself 6 months to prepare. I was like, you're surrounded by, aren't you, by law of average, you're surrounded by these people, men and women who are hungry for success. Whether that's boxing, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and obviously the MMA team. You're surrounded by that. You're like, I fancy a bit of that. I enjoy the discipline. I enjoy having a reason to train. And this became my reason to train. And now I'm
goal to set.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll touch on the start of the MMA career then. So Fighting Fit, you gave yourself 6 months. You spoke to your coach, Martin Cahill, who's a BJJ black belt, coach for very many, many years. My old coach as well. He put your name forward. We give him names back. And it was agreed that you fight Daniel Cartwright, who was from Preston. It was his home show, home fight, hometown. So was it like he's 2-0, you're making your debut? What sort of stance did you take with that? How did you train towards it?
Yeah, that was a mad one, obviously, with it being your debut anyway. But I remember Martin, my coach, putting it to me and just thinking, this is where I've got to kind of put my money where my mouth is. And as you said, you know Martin pretty well, and Martin was like, "Look, Steph, it's up to you, but I think you can beat him." And I thought, well, if Martin believes I can beat him, then I believe I can beat him. You know, if you get Martin on side, you know you're onto a good thing. So yeah, we did our research. We had a nosy, and you know he was basically taking people down and beating them with ground and pound. So guess what? Don't let that happen. You know, let's keep it on the feet. Let's keep it on the feet, and don't do anything brash. Don't even try and finish the guy. Just if needs be, get the 3 rounds in, which is what happened. You know, I went in. I felt I was dominant, and went the distance, and it was chilled. You know, like I did the job. I got the pre-nerve, pre-fight jitters out of the way. Got the debut out of the way, and got the 1-0, which I think is massive. You know, I think that getting that, however you get it, is key, man. To what you're going to do and how you're going to move forward mentally, not just physically, but like from a mental standpoint.
So after that fight, you literally fight 4 or 5 weeks later on ISFC, the Fight Festival. Yourself and teammates Mikey Bolden and Adam Walsh both fought on there. And all 3 of you got the win, so that must have been a great feeling that 3 teammates... Really the first goal is obviously get the win, but the second goal is if you can all win as a team, wait to come back to the gym and you go again. So after you get the debut out of the way, on the day, were you first out of the 3 years? Were you second? Were you last? How did it go?
So I was second. I was middleman. So Mikey went first and got the win. So obviously, you know, we're buzzing. We're like happy days. He's got the ball rolling. I think he got a sub. No drama. Yeah. So Mikey went first. I think he got a submission. It was either first or second round sub. So we're well happy. I was second, and unfortunately, I think just through a little bit of disorganization from the promotion standpoint, because they were kind of mixing and tuning and throwing order and things like that. I actually didn't get much of a warm up for that fight, which was interesting to say the least. Luckily, it was roasting. It was that year.
I was in Bulgaria at the time.
Yeah,
so I was going to miss the event.
Yeah, it was hot. So it didn't take much for me to get warm, that's for sure. And I just remember like standing behind, listening to the music, waiting to go out, just thinking, well, I've got 2 choices, haven't I? I can either get caught up in not having a warm up, or just get on with it. And let's just do it. I'd heard, hearsay from the grapevine that, regardless of him being a debutant, he had this like next level striking, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, well, we'll see, won't we? We'll see. And, I got a 3rd round TKO. Happy. 2-0, baby. Just like that.
So was there any way you prepared differently after your debut? So obviously going into the unknown, you just follow your coach's advice. After fight 1 of Daniel and you're going into Tom 5 weeks later, did your mindset change a little bit of like, okay, I did this wrong or I did this right? What was it going from fight 1 to fight 2? Yeah,
I mean, again, with it being such a short time frame, I think I was still very much like in fight mode, if you will, which for me personally, I can say like I dip in and out of it. Never for long periods, but I can go like, I need a breather, Whereas this, I was like, I felt the first fight was almost, it felt like a warm-up. I felt that I treated it like sparring, When I watch it back, it's crazy, So I did that. I got my sparring session done in a competitive environment. And so I was well keen to jump on the next fight. In terms of prep, I think I was actually set to fight someone, or maybe like two or three. There was at least 1 or 2 dropouts, and then there was Tom. So there was that, and then there was the fact that it was his debut. So in terms of prep, you just do what you do, don't you? You just prepare. There's no, I'm for the most part, I don't really prepare for a specific person unless it's like 100% like guaranteed. But certainly in the early stages, there was no guarantee. So I just trained. I got myself prepared to just fight whoever was in front of me. Fight camp for 6 weeks. Whoever's in front, that's who I'm fighting. And, I think the more of an understanding you have of mixed martial arts and having an improved strike game and improved grappling game, you have the ability to do that. So I just came in, was like, let's just see how it goes. Let's just see how it goes. take it from there. And yeah, as I say, the short time frame on this in this particular instance, because I was hungry, because I was fresh out of the bats, that I was well keen. And then, like I say, I got the second win, and the ball's really rolling by this point. So,
let's say ball rolling, you go into fight 3 back at UK Fighting Championships against very, very talented kickboxer and Thai fighter in Jake Hughes. Do you know much about him beforehand? What are sort of the thoughts going into it, and how did you take the fight?
Yeah, we obviously were aware that he was a good striker, so the game plan had to change for this one, certainly, and we focused a lot more on my grappling. And I certainly feel just at that point in my career as well, like as a whole, my grappling game needed improvement. So this was a great opportunity to do that. This was a great opportunity to learn and to hopefully flaunt what I had learned in that fight. And it wasn't until, probably like months and months and months later that I truly realized how big, how big a step up fighting Jake was, and how big a win it was, because the dude hits hard. Like he's a dense guy, and after 1 or 2 licks off those kicks, I was like, oh, okay. Okay. So I was like, right, I guess we need to speed this grappling thing up, don't we? We need to speed that up a little bit. And then I got my hands on him, and it's like fighting your big brother. It was, I'm used to being a strong guy. I'm used to feeling strong. And old Jakey boy was strong. Jake was, and I'm sure still is, very strong guy. But I was fortunate that, I'm tough, I'm durable, and I'm fit, so I'm able to weather the storm, which was certainly part of the plan. Like, again, watching his fights, like he just knocks people out, bam, see you later, just like that. And I'm taking like 3 or 4 of them, and I'm still there. And I know that feeling. Yeah, and it must be incredibly disheartening from the other person's standpoint when you're giving them a good welly and they're still coming forward. So yeah, it was, that happened, and then I just felt a change, man. I just felt like he gassed, and I was able to take advantage of that. And hello, 10 finger,
Guillotine.
arm in guillotine, and that's becoming somewhat of I'm mad for that move, man, and that's where it all started.
So after that was October 2018. Then obviously everyone has a break over Christmas, not many events to run. We returned for UK Fighting Championship 9. I think we were scheduled to have you on the card anyway. I think you lost your opponent. The lightweight title fight, Aaron Pierre lost his opponent, and we were sort of diving about looking for last-minute replacements. You and Martin answered the call and was like, yeah, we'll step up, we'll fight for the lightweight title. Obviously, your first 3 fights are featherweight. We know that you walk around close to weight anyway, because you, like you say, you're always in shape. So what was it like stepping up? Because I know you talked to me after the Jake fight as like, I want the belt, I'm looking for the featherweight belt. And at the time, I think your teammate Adam was in the same sort of title picture at the time, but you were willing to go down to bantamweight to get it if needed be. So what was it like going up, especially when it's not, you don't even really, you walk around it that way?
Yeah. It was a mad choice, but it was one of those where we just thought, sod it, why not? Like what have I got to lose other than the fight? Like, in the politest, most diplomatic way I can say it, like, there's no expectation. There's some guy, I'm 3-0, going up a weight division to fight for a title. Risk versus reward, man. For me, it was like, do the maths. You lose the fight, you've stepped up, you've set a precedent not only for the gym, but for for MMA, for amateur MMA. Like, yeah, why not? That's why we're here, innit? That's why
it's all
we're
about
here.
Experience.
Yeah, like that's. You say you want to fight, so here you go. Here's your man. You say you want a belt, well, here's your belt. So okay, okay then.
So that was 5 rounds. So what was that like for you?
as in specifically against Aaron, it was graft. He's a strong, I mean, I know I'm saying like Jake's strong, but Aaron, I think actually looked, Aaron was, until he went pro, he was number one in the country. He was number one in the country in a weight division above me, so tilt me hat to him. I think I did all right. I think,
Last minute, weight up 5 rounds
Yeah.
against number one in the country.
Yeah, man. Like, and I got beat. Like, I got beat. You watch the fight back, all 4 rounds he won, but I was there. I was there every single time, and I made it hard for him. I gave him a fight. I didn't just roll over. I gave him a fight, and that for me, even though I didn't win the fight, I felt that I earned a lot of respect, at the very least, with my peers. And it was like, that's how it should be. And I remember speaking to Aaron afterwards, and he was like, mate, no one wanted to fight me. Do you know what I mean? Like, no one in my weight division wanted to fight me, and you did. You're a guy early in your career, and you were willing to put it on the line, your unbeaten record on the line. Is like, and you made me work for it, man. Like, you made me work, and that was great. And I think certainly from like a mental perspective, because I didn't have very high expectations, and I thought, worst case I win, best case I am the title holder in the weight division above. Like, how cool is that? How cool would that be? But I think, like I say, because I had such a low expectation in terms of, it didn't matter so much. It meant that even though I was losing the rounds, every round I reset. You get beat first round, go into round 2 as if nothing's happened. You get beat in round 2, went into round 3 as if nothing's happened, and just keep with that same approach. So yeah, it was good. It was character building. It was very, very, it was very, very good experience for me. And yeah, it showed me what I've got, what fight I've got in me.
The thing you said then, it touched on the respect from your peers and fans that maybe have not seen you before. I feel like the win over Jake Hughes, that was a big notch in the bedpost. It was like, this guy's good. And then you face Aaron, a weight division up, taking 5 rounds, and everyone in UKFC took a step back and was like, right, okay, this kid's got it. Let's reward him because he's done us a favour. He's took the champion to the limit. But technically, at his weight, he's undefeated. Corey Fry was injured at the time, so he couldn't defend his belt. So we had to put an interim on the line. So we put you against another Jake, in Jake McAvoy from down south. That was... there's only 3 months after the lightweight fight. So you've just been 5 rounds, hardest fight of your life, most likely. And then you go, right, I'm stepping back down to my weight class. Was that more of a confidence boost to feel like, right, this is my territory now? What was it like?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, again, after speaking, let's say specifically with Aaron, for example, and he was like, you're going to be sweet, man. You stepped up and you made it hard work. So you're going to be sweet in featherweight division. So it was a massive confidence boost, definitely. And I did think, you know what? I looked at my, albeit very small record, but I looked at who I've fought, and each and every one of them has brought a different challenge, and each and every one of them, no one's been a bum, none of them have been bums. They've all been good in some way or another, and I've either held my own or come out on top in good fashion. So yeah, I was like, I'm having it. I'm ready. I'm ready for. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I thought I was gonna wipe the floor with Jake. I thought like 3 rounds max. And I remember after the 3rd round thinking, nah, I'm not stopping this lad. This lad's he's a tough boy. Like, I felt I was winning. I felt very confident in what was going on. But I remember going back after the end of round 3 and going like, I'm not stopping this kid. We've got to change it up. And we did, and we changed it up. And I felt it was a clean victory, and I thought it was a top fight. You know, that was the one where I'm like, that was a good fight. You know, and again, people come up to it and was like, sick.
It was probably one of the best fights of the night. Probably
Yeah.
we've had a UKFC definitely top 10. You got that win by split decision.
Yeah.
Judged on the night, see what they see, gave you the nod.
Yeah.
Interim champion. Then you knew what was next. As soon as Corey was back to full health, you was looking to merge and becoming the unified champion. It happened at the next show. So you're riding a high, even though you've come off a title loss against Aaron. You're then riding a high, beating McAvoy. Now you're facing Fry. You know you've basically everything that you threw in front of you. You've faced Corey's teammate in Jake Hughes. You've seen Corey over the events. You've seen how he fights. You've got plenty of arse so you can watch the tape on him. What was your mindset going into the unification fight?
I created this idea that was great. You know what I mean? I felt great. I had Adam, who's beat Corey. So I felt confidence, and I probably was riding the wave, and I had a great fight camp, and everything was good. And I think it wasn't until the night before where reality kind of like dumped on me a little bit, and unfairly, the opposite, the complete opposite to what I was saying about Aaron, the fight with Aaron, was I put this incredibly huge amount of pressure on myself. You know, like, oh, you've got to win. You've got to win. You better win. And it went from being like riding the gravy train to, actually. And it's probably the most nervous, if I'm being honest, probably the most nervous I've been for a fight because of this expectation that was on me, that I'd put on myself. So I felt better once I got to the arena, to the place. I felt better, and I felt I had a good warm up. It was certainly a weird place because I'm used to. There's lots of like different like micro elements that may or may not have played the part. The fact of the matter is, Corey won. I think when I watched the fight back, it was a better fight than it felt. Again, I think from a mental perspective, I was being incredibly critical on myself throughout the round one, and then throughout round two, as long as it lasted. I remember just being like, I'm taking this boy down, I'm taking this boy down, and I know what I'm doing. But Corey knew what he was doing, man. Corey knew what he was doing. Corey knew what he was getting himself in for. And I'm sure Corey was a hungry young man. Do you know what I mean? He needed, we both wanted to unify. We both wanted it. He wanted it more, and fair play. And he caught me. I remember him catching me with some good shots, and I remember thinking, yeah, sound, I'll take them. No drama. I will take them all day. No drama at all. I've seen him knock people out with that hook, and he caught me with that hook, and I remember being like, sweet, cool. Caught me with a few kicks, and I'm like, yeah, sweet, cool. But I'll tell you what, man, once when you don't see it, because I genuinely believed that I was like, you cannot knock me out. I believe that. I believe that I've been hit so hard. I train with like professional Thai boxers, and those guys don't muck about. And so I thought, I'm sweet. But yeah, I did not see it, and what happened next, and fair play, because that's what happens, man. If you don't see it, then you can't defend from it, can you? So
very, very good point.
It immortalized me. It immortalized me. It was incredibly humbling, and yeah, I gave myself a hard time about it, for sure. But
it's human. It's the most human emotion you can have. You got to use a point. You've trained 4, 6, 8, 10 weeks, whatever it may be, and then it just doesn't go your way. And it's very nice for you to say that he wanted it more, because a lot of people won't even be honest about that. So that sort of brings up to date with your MMA career. You've had a bit of a break at the minute, injuries, holidays, whatever it is, you've had a break. You were looking to come back in the next couple of months.
Yep.
Then the lockdown hit. So what have you been doing? Obviously, you're a fit guy. You like to keep active. So what have you been doing for the last 4 or 5 weeks during lockdown?
Well, what I'll do before I answer that question is put my phone on charge. So give me a second, yeah?
No worries, dude. Go. So we're back. So, yes, Stef, you were saying about lockdown.
I it's my life, man. Do you know what I mean? I'm a coach, so I'm one of those people who I'm always fit, you know. I'm always keeping myself active, and I've used this as an opportunity to, you know, work on little things, work on like mobility, flexibility. I've been getting mad into my kettlebells at the minute. I do a lot of bodyweight stuff anyway, so I'm fortunate that, you know, not being in the gym, other than wrecking people, you know, other than jits and knocking people about, from like a strength and conditioning point of view, I've been fine. I've been absolutely fine. The thing I miss the most is probably the jiu-jitsu and the hands-on stuff, you know. But I've been doing my bit, and I've been focusing on my social media presence, and trying to spread the knowledge through that portal as well, you know, because I'm used to being in the gym and being surrounded by people with the same attitude and the same outlook, and I'm there to, I want to help you and you want to help me, and that's great. So now being stuck in the house, it comes with its challenges, but it is what it is, and we're all in it together. So whatever I can do to share that knowledge and to get myself about and get myself known in different avenues, which I've wanted to do for a bit and put off because I'm too busy, or I'm preparing for this, or I'm preparing for a fight, or whatever. Here I am. Time is now. No time like the present. So yeah.
It's very, very true. A lot of if this wasn't to happen, I would never have found Zoom to even think about this stuff, because I've done interviews in the past where I've had to meet a group of individuals at a certain place, and I would do back-to-back interviews. Whereas I can do this at my own leisure. I can do this in my house. I can record the video. I can put the audio onto a podcast. It made me go, oh, there's something else that I can do, something else that I have at my fingertips. And that's one thing. I think if this would have happened 20, 40 years ago, people would have got a bit mad because there was a lot less to do. But now, 2020, even though it's not been the best year so far, the tech that's at our fingertips opens up, like you say, your social media presence, building the brand of Stef Murray. There's loads of things you can do. You can portray stuff to your teammates about what you know, your knowledge, and vice versa. And I think that helps a lot, keeping people sane.
Yeah, man. And I think you made a really good point. You know, look, we can go on all day about the bad, you know, and things that are not, and things that should be, with regards to this virus and the quarantine and so on. You know, I'm sure we could make a very, very long podcast about that alone. But sometimes you just got to put that to the side and go, look, where's the silver lining, man? You know, like, I consider myself an optimist, and hopefully that doesn't make me ignorant. I'm not trying to portray myself as ignorant or a know-it-all or anything. I think, like, what can we do? You know, like, there's two things. There's your actions and things that you have control over, and things that you do not have control over, and how you choose to feel / behave towards them. They're your two things, man. That's all you got. That's literally all you got.
It's a great point.
Things you have control over and things you do not have control over.
It's two categories. That's a great point. a lot of stuff that I was very naive towards this whole situation. I didn't take it seriously at first, and that was my naivety. Or maybe my I didn't really want it to be true, but it could affect my events. It could affect.
Yeah, exactly. Me, same, mate, same.
Like exactly. I turn 30 tomorrow, which now Tuesday the 14th of April. I turn 30 tomorrow. I'm in lockdown. It's not the best. I'm supposed to be in Florida. Supposed to go to WrestleMania last week. Supposed to have 2 events that are now we've had to move or postpone for now. I didn't want to believe that, and I think that took me a long time until it was in my face. And Boris is saying we're looking down. I was like, right, now it's out of my control. Until that point, it was in my control to do as much as I could. And maybe yourself was the same, maybe other people were the same. But you just need to keep active, keep as sane as possible. You're building your brand. I'm trying to build mine. Is there anything that you would recommend for people that are maybe struggling at this point, maybe mentally or physically, to do or to organise?
I think it. I would say this, but I feel like you've got to keep active, man. I cannot stress, keep active. There's times where I think, like you spend so much time in the house, never do this. Spend so much time in the house, I'm like, how do you do it? How do you do this? This is mental.
It's like a skill in itself.
Yeah, it's scary. It's mad. So yeah, physically keep active. Anything within the confines of what we are able to do. Like keep active. And from a mental viewpoint, I think it's really important to allow yourself to feel. So what I mean by that, like whatever it is, like if you want to feel sad or annoyed or upset about because you're stuck in the house, or the situation, or the government, if you want to feel negatively, do. But don't get caught up in it.
Yeah, don't push it onto other people. Don't make them feel negative.
Yeah, man. Allow it. Let it happen. Feel it. Embrace it. But don't set up camp. Set up camp. Just feel it and then go, okay, I feel better now. Because you can't hide from yourself. I always say this to people about fighting. Would you get nervous like this, that, and the other? Like, yeah, I do. Don't hide from it. Embrace it because it's natural. It'll be some kind of defense mechanism that maybe
reactions from it.
Yeah. So yeah. From a mental viewpoint, I think it's really important to. I've been trying my best to like be productive, like mentally productive, whether that's building a brand, whether that's reading, whether that's podcasts or audiobooks, or just trying to practice stillness, like, because actually when I look at my schedule, I actually do a lot. Maybe just don't do so much. Maybe allow yourself to not do so damn much as well. Just on the flip side of allow yourself to feel sad and feel angry and whatever. Also allow yourself to not have to do any of those things.
Take a breather.
Yeah, just take a fucking breather, man. Just take a breather because, like I said before, there's things that we have control over, and there's things we do not. So,
Is there anything you're watching or listening to that you would recommend for people that are watching or listening to this?
What have I been listening to? I've been listening to... I feel like Joe Rogan's always a good one. If in doubt, stick a bit of Joe Rogan on. I was listening to a little bit of good old David Goggins, because if in doubt, you got to stick on a bit of Goggins, man. There's a man who will give you a kick up the arse.
Bit of realism.
Oh man, it's because that's the thing as well. It's the bluntness. I enjoy peace and tranquility and things like that, and zen and all that. But I also enjoy people just being like brash and uncouth and just being like, "Yo, come on, point. Sort it." So yeah, and I like. It's weird because even though I've got like loads of time on my hands, I haven't really been watching a great deal more things. The only things I really watch will be with the little one, like the BFG or something like that. So feel free to watch the BFG; it's decent.
Well, that's one thing I didn't know you about. So you've got a kid?
Yeah, I've got a little girl. She's
So that's
8.
one thing I've learned from this. So how old? So you say, sorry?
8.
8. Wow. So
I
what's
know.
it like being a parent in this situation? I'll say that's another level on this.
Yeah, it's. I mean, being a parent, full stop, is graft. So being a parent in this scenario is challenging for sure. I mean, me and her mum aren't together, so we divide the days, and that's one of the things that fortunately I've been able to do is still see her, which is great, which is absolutely amazing, and has certainly helped me a lot. On those lonely nights where you need a little cuddle, she's been there to give me that cuddle. So yeah, it's been tough, but she's cool, man. She's a little daddy's girl, so she sorts me out. She's not too much of a pain in the ass. So it's graft, but being a daddy's always graft. So
Cool.
overall, sound. Homeschooling's mad. It's a mad concept, but I've just really been focusing a lot more on she's very athletic. I mean, she likes exercising, so we do a lot of running around, being mental, and I focus a lot more on like the creative side of education, because she's an intelligent young lady. So, I've spoken to teachers and they've been like, look, she's bright. She's not going to miss out anything, So focus on, as a young kid, you need to be looking at keeping fit, being creative, and social skills. So unfortunately, we have to take social skills out of that because she's limited on who she can socialise with.
Yep.
So I guess that means lots of football, and lots of hide and seek and lots of drawing and stuff, and writing, and I'm teaching her Spanish as well. So that's good
Amazing.
for both of us. That's good for both of us. So
definitely.
yeah.
So before I let you go, we'll touch on who you want to thank you and stuff like that. But some quick fire questions for you. Just even if you don't have a care, just still answer them. It's a bit of fun. So ketchup or brown sauce?
Brown.
Mayo or salad cream?
Mayo.
City break or beach holiday?
Beach, baby. Come on.
Xbox or PlayStation?
I don't play them, so I'll say PlayStation.
Fork in left hand or fork in right hand?
Left.
Thank God for that. A lot of people have asked them in right hand. That's so weird. It's the strangest thing. It's just before I said my Mrs. Catherine, she has it in her right, and I always call out on her, and she watches Coronation Street, and the little meerkats that do that, they sponsor meerkat.com, whatever, they sponsor it, and when they teaching the kids, it's in the left hand, and I'm like, even the meerkats are doing it right. So
even the meerkat knows, man. Even the meerkat knows. Well, I thought, bearing in mind I'm left-handed.
I'm left-handed as well.
I thought it was because I thought that your knife's meant to be in like your strong hand.
Yeah, yeah, it's the strangest thing in the world, because I thought I'm left-hand dominant, let's put it in my left hand. But if you look at everything, it's one of them, innit? Question 6. So
that's I thought I was taught by someone who was obviously, well, I think my mum's left-handed as well, but like a right-handed dominant society.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress.
Question 6: shower or bath?
Shower. I like a bath, but I shower more.
Gi or no gi?
No gi.
Win by submission or win by KO?
Ooh, I still need a KO, so we'll go for KO.
Fighting a war or a quick finish?
War.
And the last one, it's sort of like an infamous MMA question: Anderson Silva or GSP? I want I'm pitching, didn't I? GSP. That just shows how much talking I've done today. My throat's ready to go. I've been on interviews for 5 hours now. So yeah, Anderson Silva, GSP. So I've asked that question.
Mate.
Thanks, man. Done that a lot today. That question, and GSP always seems to be the answer. Let's mix it up then. GSP or John Jones?
Oh, John Jones is a mad one, isn't he? Because he's a bit of a turd on the sly, isn't he?
That is amazing.
But he's absolutely phenomenal. He's like, I prefer to watch John Jones.
You prefer to watch John
I
Jones?
I prefer to watch a John Jones fight.
I'd agree with that.
GSP is like the epitome of a mixed martial artist.
Yes.
He looks like you look like a mixed martial artist, you talk like a mixed martial artist. You know, he's a mixed martial artist. But
Very
John
true.
Jones, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's a bad man.
So before we let you go then, anyone you want to thank, teammates, family, any sponsors, anything like
that? Look, at the minute, I am currently not sponsored. So listen, if you want some naughty fighter rocking around with your gruds on, yeah, your name on their gruds, you let me know. Okay. In terms of thanking, I guess just like thanking everyone at Fighting Fit, because we have kept in touch. I think despite all this, we've got a proper good community, man, and we're all staying connected. We're keeping busy. We're setting silly little challenges, and it's good fun, man, and it's really, really good fun. Thank you to my little girl India for keeping me sane, because obviously she's going to be watching this. And yeah, I'm still doing coaching, whether that's workout plans, whether that's online PTs or online group training. So look, follow me on Instagram or follow me on Facebook or whatever. It's Stef Murray PT. And yeah, come watch the chaos unfold. That is my life.
Well, you took the last question out. I was going to say, how can people follow you? So Instagram and Facebook, we'll put that in the bio when we release this in a few days or as soon as we can. But I appreciate your time, Stef. Keep sane, keep in touch, and if you need anything, let us know.
Same to you, Jake. Take care, man.
Nice one, pal.